Hello again. My name is Kalina James, the CEO of LyfQuest CRM. And again, thank you so much for being a beta tester. We wanted to provide you with this next step in how to customize your landing page for your mobile app branding. In other words, we know that you have been given access to the LyfQuest CRM, and now that you have been able to log in for the first time and become familiar with some of the learning tools, we thought the very next step is to set up your mobile app experience. And setting that up, you'll need to have a test client to be able to look and see and view the brand experience that you want your customers to be able to enjoy. So with that being said, I want to show you how to navigate doing this successfully. So upon logging in for the very first time, you're going to be presented with your Clients tab. So from here, if you've accessed that Learning Resource Center, you'll know that you'll be starting from the bottom up to get yourself familiar with the platform. So navigating to the Settings tab, you will see that there is this sub tab called Site. Here is where you will make all of your updates, not updates, but create the mobile app experience, look and feel to when your customers come into your CRM experience. In other words, this is where you're going to make all of your updates or your changes in order to create the landing page to your mobile app and for what people will experience and see once they get here. And so two things. I want to bring to your attention that if you want to learn more about mobile app branding, click this link. And when you click this link, it will open up our LMS in Canva. And here you will be given the opportunity to watch videos or even access some PDF documents to teach you more about certain areas on this particular page. But here you'll see creating a test client in the mobile app. So this is where you create test clients, or how to create a test client for the mobile app in order to really test the look and feel and experience of what you're offering to your clients. I wanted to create this video because I think it gives you a visual example of the step-by-step process when you're looking to create a test client just to look at your mobile app branding. And in order to do that, I wanted to make sure you knew that this was here, step one, and then step two, how to do that visually. So upon logging in, the very first thing you're going to want to do is come to your Settings tab under the Site tab, and then really fill this in. In other words, put the organization's name, and then if you're using a site text or the call to action that prompts people to logging in for the first time, you can put that text here. This is optional. And the reason why it's optional is because depending on what your branding looks like when you're putting up your logo or putting up some sort of graphic design, you can also put your call to action there. Doesn't make sense to put it in two places if you're capturing it on your branding. So you can put it here, and then here your color palette that's going to illuminate inside the platform once people log in. And then here, this should be blank. This is where you're going to be able to upload your logo, your design concept in order to display to your customers when they log in for the first time. And so just to note that you can use PDFs, or not PDFs, but PNGs or JPEG files or GIF or GIF files. If you're using a GIF file and using it as an animated opportunity, you can go up to 120 seconds to showcase some sort of animation for your users. And so again, you can use the third of the screen or half of the screen of designs or the full screen. In other words, you can design half of the screen or the entire wrap of the screen, depending on what you want to experience. And I'll show you what that looks like. And so here, there's other videos that talk to you about what resources on the homepage looks like, and then also what this means here to always require a password. But once you take care of this very simple way to set up your mobile app, you're ready to go. And so you'll navigate to your Clients tab here. And so setting up a test client, you'll do a few things. You'll go ahead and hit Add. Once you hit Add, you'll give it a test client name, something that's just going to stand out for you. as you use this person or this test client all the time. So maybe give it a name, testing, the brand mobile or beta client test one. Give it an email. This email is not necessary to be, it's not important for this email to be something that you use. It could very well be any fictitious email that you have or some made up email, because you're not going to be emailing this client. You're not going to be using this in any purpose to have to log into it. And so here is just basic information, not important. If you've already set up your groups, the groups can be here. It's not important to put them in any group, because again, you're just testing the look and feel of your branding. And then from here, it's asking you to send this email invitation to the email that you just put in that key space. You want to uncheck that. Once you uncheck that, you'll go ahead and hit save. Then once you hit save, it should populate that contact card displayed here. For this test purpose, I'm just going to use A1 test. This is my test client for the look and feel of my branding. And so A1 test client has been created, but not yet invited or has not logged in. So to the far right of my screen, I'm going to put a test client, A1 test client in, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit go. So from your mobile app on your phone, you are currently logged in as the owner of that CRM, as the coach. You're going to log out of your CRM, and you're going to put into that email block the test client's email. Once you do that, you are going to see this mobile app experience, this brand, this whatever you put here will be displayed here. As you can see, I use the top part of the screen for an image. I use the middle screen for a GIF file, and I used the middle screen for a video, and then I used the bottom screen for my call to action. I help executive professionals. I would have put that in my site text, but instead I used it on my screen here. I also think it's important to note that when you're using the entire wrap, I use this little call to action arrow to swipe up so that they can see the standard notification to accept the invitation by your company. It is important to note that what hovers around here is powered by LyfQuest icon. This is something that will remain here. It is in black. If you have a black background, it will white it out. If you have a colored background, it still will be displayed. So with that being said, you can see that I use the entire screen here. If you want to change out and use something else, you should be able to use something else. I'll navigate to customer support. And again, I'll use something else. As you can see, it's the top half. This uses about 3/4 of the screen. Say I don't have a video. I'm just using the entire screen with no animation. If I did have animation. So depending on your branding, if you have the branding already to go, it's about a 5-minute setup to create the look and feel of the branding experience that you want others to see. And then I can change the color tone to match the colors. Again, it's a 5-minute setup. It just really depends on whether or not you have your graphic design elements already established. And so when you have a test client that you're using to just view your mobile app experience landing page, if you just want to use this test client to always be able to come here to look and see your changes and to approve them, you'll never want to log in. In other words, you're here, you're evaluating, you're fine. Never accept the invitation to log in, because what you're doing with that test client is that test client now becomes your client. And once they've come to this page and then accepted the invitation to log in, they no longer see this branding. And the reason why is because the mobile app experience is always open for them to navigate to, bypassing this experience. This is your gate, or this is your private access. And once they've been able to access this private area, this landing page is no longer visible to them. The only time they're going to see this landing page is if you choose to require them to sign into their password every time they navigate away. Then they will be able to see this landing page every time they come back. Hopefully this was a tutorial that was very helpful, that gives you an opportunity on 2 parts. That is to navigate to where you can find the step-by-step tutorial on how to set up your test clients, which is your next steps in this process, but also how to visually see us create a test client and then use that test client to only be able to see how the look and feel of your branding page would be experienced by your customers. And again, using that test client only to verify your branding is what we recommend you do. Never sign in with that test client. Always keep this test client available to you when you're making changes to review it over and over again when necessary. Again, thank you for being a beta tester. We look forward to your feedback and hopes that this video was very helpful for you. Take care.